everyone, have a nice day. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'll be discussing to you about finding the nth term of a geometric sequence. And of course, after watching this video, you will be able to find the indicated term of a given geometric sequence. The nth term of a geometric sequence is given by the general formula of a sub n equals a sub 1 times r to the power of n minus 1, where a sub n is the nth term, a sub 1 is the first term, r is the common ratio, and n is the number of terms or the term position. Now we will consider the first example. What are the missing terms of a geometric sequence? We have here blank, 12, 48, 192, and blank. If you have observed, the missing term is the first term as well as the fifth term. So how are we going to find the missing term? First, we have to determine the common ratio. So 12, 48, 192, to determine the common ratio, we have to divide a term by the preceding term. So 48 divided by 12, the answer is 4. And 192 divided by 48, the answer is also 4. So it means that the common ratio is 4. Now, we can solve right away the first term since we already have the common ratio, which is 4. How? Just divide the second term by 4. So 12 divided by 4, that is equal to 3. So it means that the value of the first term is 3. Okay, for the detailed solution, we have first term is equal to second term divided by the common ratio. By substitution, we have 12 divided by 4. So we have the first term equals 3. To solve for the fifth term, we are going to multiply the fourth term by the common ratio. So 192 times 4, that is equal to 768. For the detailed solution, we have fifth term is equal to fourth term times common ratio. By substitution, we have 192 times 4, so that is equal to 768. Always remember that if the missing term is after a given term, we have to multiply the preceding term by the common ratio. And if the missing term is before a given term, just like the first term here, all we have to do is to divide the succeeding term by the common ratio. So, the first term of the sequence is 3, while the fifth term is 768. Now, let's consider the second example. Find the seventh term of a geometric sequence 3, 6, 12, 24, and so on. So, for our solution, we have to check or solve first for the common ratio. So, same process. We have to divide a term by its preceding term. So 6 divided by 3, that is equal to 2. 12 divided by 6 is also 2. And 24 divided by 12 is also 2. So it means that the value of our common ratio is 2. Next, we have also to determine the first term. So our first term is 3. And our n is 7 because we are asked to find the seventh term. Okay, now we are going to write the n term formula. Next, substitute. So we have here a sub 7 or seventh term is equal to 3 times 2, the value of the common ratio, to the power of 7 minus 1. Now we will simplify. So we have to simplify first the exponent. Okay, so just bring down 3 as well as 2. Then 7 minus 1, that is equal to 6. Next, we have to simplify a term with an exponent. So we have to simplify first 2 to the power of 6. How are we going to simplify 2 to the power of 6? Meaning we have to multiply 2 6 times. So that is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And the answer for that is 64. If you will use calculator, you just press 2, the base, and you look for this symbol. This is for the exponent. And then you press 6 because 6 is the exponent, and then equals. And automatically it will give a product of 64. So 2 to the power of 6 is 64. Now we're going to multiply that to 3. And 3 times 64 is 192. So it means that the seventh term of this given sequence is 192. Now let's have the third example. Find the eighth term of a geometric sequence 1, negative 3, 9, negative 27, and so on. So same with the previous example, we have to determine the common ratio. So of course, divide negative 3 by 1, and the quotient is negative 3. 9 divided by negative 3, you also have negative 3. Negative 27 divided by 9, the answer is also negative 3. So it means that the common ratio is negative 3. Also, we have to determine the value of the first term. Of course, our first term is 1. Next, the value of n is 8, since we are tasked to find the eighth term. Now write the n-term formula. Next, substitute. So we have here 1 times negative 3 to the power of 8 minus 1. Same with the previous example, we have to simplify first the exponent part. So 8 minus 1, that is equal to 7. Just bring down 1 and negative 3. Next, we have to simplify negative 3 to the power of 7. So negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3, meaning we have to multiply negative 3 7 times. And if you have the calculator, you can make use of your scientific calculator. Just press negative 3, then exponent, then 7, then the equals. Then you will have negative 2,187. And it will be multiplied by 1. So the answer is negative 2,187. Therefore, the eighth term of the sequence 1, negative 3, 9, negative 27 is negative 2,187. Now let's have the fourth example. What is the value on the seventh day if 20 pesos increases by 10% per day? So problem like this is a problem that is asking for the n term. So we have to determine the given data. So of course, we have the first term, 20 pesos. We don't have the common ratio yet, as well as the second term. So first, we have to determine the common ratio. But we cannot determine right away the common ratio since we don't have the second term. So we have to determine the second term. So according to the problem, 20 pesos increases by 10% per day. So meaning to say, to get the second term, we have to add 20 and 10% of 20. So therefore, we have to multiply 10% of 20. Before you can multiply percent form, you have to change this one first into decimals. So changing percentage to decimals, just move the decimal point 2 places going to the left. So we have 1 and 2. So that is why we have here 0.10 hundredths. Now multiply negative 0.10 times 20, and the answer is 2. And then we have to add 20 plus 2. Of course, the answer is 22. So we have now the second term, which is 22. Since we already have the consecutive term, we can now determine the common ratio. So the common ratio, that is second term divided by the first term. So that is why we have here 22 divided by 20, because 22 is the second term and 20 is the first term. So we are going to reduce this, and this will become 11 over 10. But for this time, since we are talking about money, I'm going to express this one in decimal form. So that is equal to 1 and 10 hundredths. So now I can solve the value of the 20 pesos on the 7th day. So we have now the common ratio of 1.10 as well as the value of n, which is equal to 7. So by formula, we have a sub n equals a sub 1 times r to the power of n minus 1. Then substitute, we have a sub 7 equals 20. R is 1.10 to the power of 7 minus 1. So we have to simplify again the exponent part. So we have to bring down 20 and 1.10. So 7 minus 1 is 6. Next, simplify 1.10 to the power of 6. And that is equal to 1.7716. Just round your answer to the nearest tenths, hundreds, thousand, 10,000s. 4 decimal places. Next, multiply this one by 20 and round your answer to the nearest hundreds. So we have now 35.43. So it means that the value on the 7th day, if 20 pesos is increased by 10% per day, is 35.43 or 35 and 43 cents. That's all for today. Hopefully you learned something. Before I end, let me share to you one of the verses from the Bible. Be strong and courageous. Do not be terrified. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1 verse 9. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like or comment if you learned something and have questions regarding the video. Kindly share also to other students for them to learn or master the lesson. And please don't forget to subscribe to be updated for more math lesson videos and turn on the bell for notifications. That's all for today, and God bless you all.